Run broad match, don't run broad match. This is something I always hear when talking to other e-commerce brands and in terms of their perspective to actually scaling. And in today's video, I wanted to very simply break down where you should use broad match, when you shouldn't use broad match. And this is after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past 6 months to actually understand what broad structure actually works to actually see success and scale profitably with Google Ads. Okay, so let's dive into what broad match actually is in 2026. And the easiest way that I can actually explain it is think about Performance Max, right? Because everything that's pushed to people is to run Performance Max from Google, from other experts. And the way that Performance Max functions is, if you think about it, you give it search themes and you give it audience signals. But those search themes, you're not actually targeting keywords. You're giving insight to the algorithm in terms of who you actually want to go after. And think of broad match to function the exact same way. Without all the other placements Performance Max can actually serve your ads for, you're just going to do this for search campaigns by running broad match queries. And again, if Performance Max is working for your brand and you're looking at the channel performance report, which is a more recent report that Google released, but looking at your search spend and the ads without product data, that's going to be your actual spend on the search network. If you're successfully seeing results on there without your search terms actually being branded, that's an indicator that, again, broad match will work for your brand in very simple terms. But let's talk about what it actually means. What it actually means is you're going past the keyword that you select. Let's give the example of a keyword. So let's say black leather boot. Google is going to go out and not just target people searching black leather boot, but also people in the market. So something like comfortably rated shoes for men in 2026, or you can think of something more specific. But the idea is it's understanding context in the person of somebody maybe close to buying or still researching, but it's matching that keyword to that person because it understands there's a journey towards actually converting them. Okay, and again, this is going to be a very good top of funnel mechanism towards actually attracting people that, again, have intent to purchase past the actual keyword you select. And what it does, it goes across the other keywords that you have in the ad group to understand the theme of them. That's actually something Google mentioned that these keywords do. And it's going to use that to go after new people past the keywords that you select. Phrase match and exact match really do have their place for newer accounts where you're just starting off and you want to be very specific with terms you want to target, but quickly you may hit a ceiling with search volume, and that's where you want to introduce broad match. And the structure that I actually like to run for broad match is running it in a dedicated campaign. So if you're running already an exact match or phrase match search keywords in a search campaign, what's going to happen is if you flip on broad, 80-90% of your spend is going to start going to that broad match keyword, completely killing everything else that you have. And more importantly, if you don't have a specific negative keyword list, it's going to start spending on junk. So that's, again, where you want to give it the room to go after those more top of funnel searches, which, again, still target a person that is in the market to purchase what you offer, but not actually in the keyword selection that you have. So I run these in a dedicated campaign, have it segmented, and a dedicated budget for it, where we want to make sure that we have proper conversion tracking. So we're actually using a target return on ad spend bidding strategy to push Google to actually go after searches that are likely to give us larger conversion value, so larger order value, and get us that profitable return on ad spend without actually going after brand, right? Because we would be excluding brand from this campaign since we're using it for non-brand. Again, if you don't exclude your brand, broad match is going to start matching to your actual brand and you're going to think you're getting good results, but really it's not. And this is something I see with other e-commerce store owners is they think Performance Max or broad match is working very, very well for them. But in reality, it's just matching to their brand, which is inflating their in-platform results, but not actually growing their business. And real quick, if you want me to take a look at your current setup and see if broad match would actually be the right fit for your account or if it's functioning correctly, if you're already running it, I'd love to take a look and give you some insight. You can click that first link in the description to learn more. But back into the video, we always want to make sure we have 4 things like I mentioned. Number 1, we want to make sure we have a dedicated control campaign for this to make sure it doesn't interfere with the strategy that we already have. Number 2, we want to make sure that we're always using conversion tracking to make sure that we're actually optimizing for purchases, and that's the goal for this campaign, so that when number 3, we flip on a target return on ad spend bidding strategy, Google has purchases to optimize towards and past conversion data to leverage to understand the right types of people to target based on context and based on past conversion data. And number 4 is we already want to be coming into this with a solid negative keyword list, because with broad match, because it's going past your keyword selection, it will inevitably go after terms that are not 100% relevant to what you offer. But again, if you've already been running Google Ads for a year, 2 years, 3 years, chances are you already have a robust list of negative keywords built up. up so we can leverage that for this new campaign. Just make sure that that list is actually applied. And the last thing that I want to leave you off with is using it as a scalability lever. And this is already something I started to mention in the previous reasons, but use this as a mechanism to grow your account to the next level. And this is what I like to layer in alongside YouTube campaigns, for example, to target more top of funnel searches. You very quickly hit a cap on bottom of funnel searches with shopping or with search. And you might already be seeing this in your account where you can't scale up spend further, or you're seeing limited by search volume, or just very high lost impression share to rank. So that is where you want to start running broad match, because you already have a lot of conversion data leverage and then also a robust negative keyword list. And now my overall sentiment, would I recommend broad match in 2026? I would say yes for mature advertisers. And again, this goes back to a principle I've had over the past few years, the fact that, again, you want to be smart with when you use these specific strategies and stick to the fundamentals when you start off, right? Because broad match is going to inevitably lead to some wasted spend. But again, if you're a newer advertiser who wants to be selective with their spend, obviously spend that on phrase match, on exact match keywords, on standard shopping campaigns, or feed only performance max campaigns that target the exact queries you really want to target. And then you use broad match as a lever to see, okay, these are the keywords that are actually converting. Let me switch that onto broad match in an actual broad match campaign. So it's in a controlled environment with a controlled budget and doesn't interfere with what we already have. Google has shifted so much away from actually being a keyword-based platform. It's a lot more on intent and understanding the behaviors about how people are searching. There's so many new searches that happen every single day, and people are searching in more complex ways with questions. And that's exactly what we'd see with Gemini, ChatGPT, with Claude, all of these different AI bots that you can use. So it's important that, again, with broad match, you're able to actually capture these people in the sense of how they search across their different journeys. And now that you understand a little bit more of where I see broad match working, in what contexts, and what really prerequisites you have to have in order to run it successfully, you're probably wondering, is your brand actually ready for it, or should I shut it off completely if you're actively running it right now and not seeing the results that you want to see? If that's the case, book a free audit with me below. The link is down in the description, and I'd be happy to take a look at your account, really give you the insight of, does it make sense to be running this and continue scaling it upwards, or just to kill it and focus on other types of strategies to actually get your account to more stability or to be more profitable. Watch this video next. It's my in-depth search ads tutorial where I talk more about keyword match types and really how to successfully set up a search campaign in 2026 with the exact principles I mentioned in this video.